Hello and welcome to our weekly dosage of power. I am Leon Chisholm, and it is my aim to share insights with you that will empower you as you go throughout this week. Today our subject is beauty from ashes. Life has a unique way of doing things. Out of our lowest moments comes our strongest resolve. Oftentimes, we have to be brought low in order to rise to our highest station in life. It is through difficulties that we often realize that we are made of strong substance. When God and nature want to shape and build a person for greatness, the process is extremely difficult. We are malleable to an extent, but it often takes the beating for us to come to grips with this amazing property we possess. Yet who you are becoming will be worth everything you go through to get there. I am not flustered by too many things, and I attribute this to my mental strength. However, this mental strength was built as a result of facing things that challenged my toughness. I will recount one particular incident for your benefit. In 2013, I prepared a team for a TVJ School Challenge quiz with great expectations. We have not entered for a couple of years, but my last team had done well, so I expect us to do well. We traveled from St. Elizabeth to Kingston, which is approximately 196 kilometers according to Google. My team got blown away. My team was trashed. I honestly don't remember the other team's score, but they got anywhere from 27 to 33 points. My team got 1 point. And I don't mean 1 dozen. I mean 1 solitary point. I am sure there could not be a worse ending to the day, but my day got worse. I was accompanied on the trip by a young Ryan Brown, who is now an amazing quiz coach. I believe he had to be after such a rough baptism. And of course my dear friend, the late Cassandra York, was there, along with 30 students, including the members of the quiz team. I must mention that I was just about to be made senior teacher, and there was no senior teacher for this trip, and I was given the responsibility to be in charge as a senior teacher that morning. The match was over, and the young ladies were crying their tears out, and I was doing my best to console them. Then one of them fell over, grabbing her stomach. This was about 12 noon. A gentleman offered to take her to the hospital, and Ryan and I went with her to University Hospital. There the fun continues, as everybody in the hospital seemed to approach the situation in a nonplussed manner, while the girl was in pain, and I am seeking assistance, and all I heard was just, "Calm down, sir." She was finally taken to the accidents and emergency area, and I believe we would be out of the hospital within 2 hours or so. I learned for the first time that emergency in a hospital has nothing to do with urgency, as 3 hours after getting there, I was still waiting for her to get attention, even though I had explained to the doctor that I have a busload of students on the outside and must return to St. Elizabeth. I was alone with her, as all the students, Cassandra and Ryan, was now on the outside in the bus waiting. Within this time, Cassie called and informed me that about 20 of the students did not have any money to buy lunch. This was about 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon, having left St. Elizabeth at 8 a.m. I had not eaten since 8 a.m., and the vending machine in the A&E area decided that this was a perfect time to malfunction. 8 p.m. in the night, I was still in the hospital, and my students were still on the outside. A few things happened between 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Some members of the school administration was now saying I should leave the ill student and take home the others, to which I disagree. The parents were calling, and of course they want me to leave the ill student and take home their children, to which I disagree. The father of the ill student was in Kingston and came to the hospital. I called and asked her mother if I could leave her with her father, and she said, "No way, I must take her daughter home." So parents were upset, school administrators were upset, students were hungry and longing for home, and my primary concern was a girl in the hospital bed, and my only two supporters in the world at that moment was Cassie and Ryan. It was now 9:20 p.m. and my student was released from the hospital, and we boarded the bus, and the bus decided to join in the fun. The tire was flat. It was 10 p.m. when we drove out from the UWI hospital, and the students had to be dropped off at various points in St. Elizabeth. And being the person in charge of the trip, I had to ensure everybody got home. That is, who could get home, as some had to sleep at the school's quiz camp that night. The principal and I did the last drop-off at around 2 a.m. that morning. I went home, kissed my son who was 3 months, and for the first time went to bed without his father. But to my surprise, the sun came up that morning, and the world continues. The folks at school say all sorts of stuff, but they were kind enough to say it behind my back, except for one lady who shared that the school is now on a low and give this quiz loss as one of the main reasons. When the match was shown on television, the criticism got worse. Muta Baruka, a popular talk show host, berated my students, claiming all they had was pretty hairstyle, and it seems the only thing the teacher teach them was pass, which is the response you give in the speech section to get another question. That was a long story, but out of the experience comes a life lesson. You cannot be overcome by circumstances, and that goal has to be tried in fire. Our quiz team has done fine since, though that is more due to Ryan than me. My quiz students have been doing well in life, and I continue to give excellent value to my students and keep empowering them. Yet the most important lesson for me from the experience is to treat events as just an event. Don't say I failed and leave it there. Say I fail at this moment, which indicates that there will be other moments and the results can and will be different. Most people will never know your backstory, and it will only be interested in your backstory if at the end of it you say, despite all of this, I have triumphed. Your backstory, the ashes, are the platform, the foundation from which you build your character, your success, and create value for the world. The ashes may be your moment of ridicule, embarrassment, your moment of shame, disappointment, or tragedy. Yet you must understand that it is also key to your victories. This is how beauty rises from ashes. Use your low moments as a source of your inspiration. It is also the time when you will feel your true friends. So let me pause at this moment to big up Nikisha Rowan, my real supporter through that tough patch. Thank you very much for listening. Blessed.